Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're well and are excited for today's session. Before we begin, let me ask you a simple question. Can I have a raise of hands here? How many of you joined your PGDM with the dream of building a successful career? Okay. And now, how many of you know exactly what you'll be doing 5 years from now? That's okay. That's perfectly okay. And that's why we are here. Because the reality is that we are living in one of the most dynamic and unpredictable job markets in history. A few years ago, the career path after a management degree was relatively straightforward. Today, things are very different. AI has taken place and it's transforming industries. Startups are creating entirely new roles. Companies are hiring based on skills and adaptability as much as degrees, and opportunities are emerging faster than ever. The challenge is not lack of opportunities. The challenge is knowing what path to take and how to do that, how to prepare for it. And that's exactly why we are gathered here today. Today's session, 5 Career Pathways After a PGDM Degree, is designed to help you understand the different career trajectories you can take, the opportunities available in each path, and the skills you need to succeed in an increasingly competitive market. And for that, I have Dr. Rahul Chaudhary, Director, NDIIT College. Can we give a round of applause? Then we have the Savoki Counselor team, Mr. Praveen Walik, Director, Savoki team. Can we have a round of applause? We have Mr. Atif, Chief Coordinator, NDIIT team. Thank you for making the event successful. Mr. Anuj Mishra, Technical Head. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'd also request Mr. Rahul Chaudhary to felicitate Ms. Priya. I'd also request everyone to sit comfortably, keep your bags down your tables so that it's a long session. Please be comfortable. So, right when we dive into the pathways, we have a very special speaker with us today. Someone who has spent years helping candidates land job and helping organizations hire the right talent. Please join me in welcoming Priya, a global HR specialist and the voice behind Work Life with Priya. Priya creates impactful content focused on job search, interview preparation, workplace growth, and career advancement, helping everyone from fresh graduates to experienced professionals navigate today's job market. She has screened more than 20,000 resumes and conducted over 5,000 interviews, giving her a front row seat to what recruiters actually look for and what separates successful candidates from the rest. Her mission goes behind creating content. She focuses on helping professionals gain clarity, take action, and convert into meaningful careers. So, without further ado, please put your hands together for Priya again, and Priya can take it forward.
So first of all, a very warm welcome to everyone at NDIIT. Institutions are again places where we constitute the academics with the goal and purpose that we can probably build a better future. Better future for the students and for the taught people. When we teach students, we learn also. So, with the changing environment as AI comes into the field, artificial intelligence, let us not forget that the need for artificial intelligence is because we are not applying common sense and intelligence at the first place. That's one. Second, the complexities. The complexities itself are so much at the global scale. Whether you talk of population, the services that need to be rendered in a connected world where there are at least 192 countries, sovereign nations as per UNO, which are trying to deliver the best of services and products to their population in an equitable manner. Gone are the days when particular services would be rendered only to select few, whether it was textiles, whether it was gold, whether it was amenities like transportation. In today's world, anyone can of robotics. Anyone can actually dabble into AI startups. We have defense startups in India right now. There are youngsters of 24 years of age which are thinking of launching rockets from stratosphere using balloons and whatnot. So more power to the youth. But having said that, never forget the fundamentals. The fundamental of AI, when you try to standardize it, is mathematics, statistics, basic concepts like probability, right? And then basic common sense of organizing, collecting data, and treating it with the purpose that it should lead it to a particular decision making process. A decision making process that is intuitive and collaborative. So if Siddharth here will make his CV, it should speak more about his life, about his dreams, about his abilities, directly to a person who has never seen Siddharth, who has no idea about what Siddharth can do, about the multitude, plethora of opportunities and the talent that he has. And similarly, it goes other ways. So if you have industrial collaborators who you have never met, you should be able to get better hang of it so that we can do better things in shorter span of time with lesser cost. It is shameful, but when we say today, the public infrastructure of Delhi itself is in shambles. Whether it is road infrastructure, whether it is public parks, whether it is transportation, whether it is public distribution of food, resources, water, sanitation, everything. So, so-called disruption itself is a very bad word, but the people started using the word disruption because they were sick and tired of the old mentality that everything will go through the planning commission, through the bureaucracy, and then some good will happen down the road, right? I don't want to name a politician, but when he was the Prime Minister of India, he said that when I give 1 rupees to the public, ultimately the public get 4 paise out of it. So youth of today should start thinking how you can make systems efficient. It is very easy to say that we should live in a corruption-free world. Corruption-free world would only be possible when corruption-free business process will be more profitable and more equitable. The same 1 million rupees should be distributed into more people, or the circulation should be such that it should reach much public in a larger scale. Beneficiary should be not just selective few, right? Shubham can make a startup, he can be a multi-billionaire. But what good if his classmates are not having the benefit of it, right? Similarly, so socialism is not just in thoughts, it is better economics wise also, right Shivani? If the similar kind of workflow can go together, the money can circulate, right Nitish? You are the analyst, you can say the better circulation of money, the faster is the economy, right? Excellent. So with these few words, be focused on your career, but your career is not excluded. It cannot be in silos, like our deans are always keep saying, that we cannot work in silos. We are social beings, we are in a society, in a breathing, thinking society. So always try to tune your dreams, your career pathway towards society. If you will invest in your society, the society will invest in you and will make you a richer person for sure. Thank you, sir. First of all, thanks to Riyaz sir. Thank you, ma'am, for sparing the valuable time. They are greenhorns. Please be patient with them. They are really talented bunch. We have some of the students from Sukriti Professional Academy also. They are students with young dreams. They are skillful youngsters because education is not limited to one kind of degree, right? The better designs, the better inclusivity, better society. The deck is all yours, ma'am, please.
Use this is more like a compulsion. Okay, I prefer moving and talking, but okay, then I'll adjust. All right, a lot of bright faces, curious eyes. I can see future product manager, future HR specialist, and future CEOs looking at me with a lot of expectations. So next 45 minutes will be just yours and mine. We'll try to make it most of the use. Before even we get started and till the time the full screen is working, I'm gonna give you a few numbers and just hear me out, okay? All right, so the first number is 97,557, the exact number that you can Google also. This is the number globally professionals, tech, non-tech, have lost their jobs in first 3 months. Daunting, fear-mongering, okay, don't worry, there are gonna be some good numbers also. But let me just give you the reality of the corporate market. I have been a recruiter, as Saran ma'am introduced. I've been in HR operations. I'm right now a senior HR BP, and I've seen that career trajectory from big tech organizations to MBBs. I can decode that for you. That might look like an alien word. McKinsey, BCG, and Bain. These are the top 3 consultings in the whole world. I've been in Bain, so I know how consulting works. I've been in Publicis Sapient, so I know tech and digital market works. Right now, I'm at MediaMarks, which is a global tech media agency, so I know how media agency works. So it's not about the kind of companies that we have worked in and the kind of companies that I'm going to get you insights for. The kind of numbers that we're going to talk about right now. All right, I'll jump to the next one. 967 is the number that in India, fresh graduates are losing their jobs. I'm talking about India. But 1512 is the number that everyone is getting placed each day. So can you see that number? We are saying job market is really bad. We are saying AI is replacing jobs. Or someone is also saying, hey, Microsoft is finding AI too expensive. They're hiring back people. It is not happening such way. Firstly, verify your sources. Next, hear me out. AI is not here to replace you. AI is just here to make your life better. So the more skilled you are, the more better logical reasoning you have, the better skills you build, the better resume you build, the better you prep for the interview. That's how those placement months will look less daunting to you, and you will have less sleepless nights. So prepare yourself better. That's how we're going to give you very clear paths in next 45 minutes. Okay, so the next number, 47%. This number is 47% of companies feel there are not enough skilled graduates in the market. For example, if a company is having 1,000 jobs right now open, they would feel only 600 of them is filled by qualified candidates and 400 is just absolutely empty. And I'm giving you a real number right now. Even if you Google today, EY will be having more than 1,000 openings. And out of it, only 600 have been filled by now. Recruiters have a lot of visibility in other organizations, and I can say this with a lot of good data backing good sources. So what these numbers are telling you, I'm going to give you one more interesting number, but till then just hear me out. These numbers are telling you, you are here to be hired, jobs are waiting for you, there are jobs in the market, so please do not hear to those either creators or influencers who are saying job market is really bad, you need to do a few random certifications or courses. You just need to be really particular in what you need to become. Pick a career path. Either you can be an HR specialist, you can be a product manager, you can be a data specialist or a data analyst or a business analyst. You do not have to be a coder to do that, but you just have to have strong analytical skills. All right, so the last number we are talking about, and trust me, this is going to be positive. That number is 5. Just 5. 5 years, which are very critical for you guys, 20 to 25, to build your career. If you do an analytical thinking about your career in these 5 years, you will have a career path absolutely successful, ready-made for you. Just 5 years of your career. And that's all you need. 5 years, maximum skills, maximum certifications, projects, a lot of networking. Please make LinkedIn your best friend, your resume, your partner, and that's what you need right now. That's it. And for next 5 years, you will remember this conversation. You will look back to all those efforts that you made. So hear me out for the next 45 minutes, and please let's make it as interactive as possible. Treat this like your first corporate job today for next 45 minutes. The more you speak, the better promotions. So think from that mindset. All right, so first thing that we're gonna talk about, okay, I'll move to the first one. All right, another numbers. I know a lot of numbers, but whenever you get in corporates, you're gonna hear more than 1,000 numbers in one single day, and you will be expecting to cram them. So 8 million graduates entering job market every year. Don't worry, this number includes BTech, BBA, MBAs, every course that you can think of, but anyone who is getting out of college, that's the total number. Can you see how big that number is? And in this big market, you need to make a space for yourself. Okay, and that's not difficult. You just need to have a very strong branding. For example, who Priya is. When I was sitting at your place in the placement years of my MBA, I just had a very specific vision, and my LinkedIn headline used to say future HR specialist. I did not know H of HR by then. Anything that I've just read in textbook, that's it. But I knew in my head, I can do this career for next 5 years. And if I can do this career for next 5 minutes, I know I'm gonna build my next 50 years super successful, nice money-proof career for next 50 years. That's a clarity that you need. Talk to your professors. They are really supportive, as I've heard Sir talking about. Just talk to Claude, talk to ChatGPT. Get as much as insights you can from the market. I am this is my personality, I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert, this is my course that I've done, this is something that I want to build for, or I need a job which is networking specific, I need a job which is more towards operations, I do not want to interact with a lot of people, what career options do I have? And tell me the open jobs. That's it that you need to know, but you just need to have a lot of clarity. Your resume should mention who you are and what you want to become. Say aspiring, no? Right now, if you do not have a lot of experience or you have a work pretty good, if you do not want to continue with that work ex before the MBA days, then just say aspiring HR professional or aspiring data analyst. That's what you need. But just tell recruiters who you want to become. Okay? All right. Pretty good. Quick reality check, though I've given a lot, I think. I can see those expressions changing, but a lot of positive stuff coming around. 8 million graduates we talked about. 72% of companies think that there's a talent shortage. But trust me, 90% of job seekers thinks there is not enough job market. So, 30% of companies dropping degree requirements. Okay, a quick question. How many of you have seen those either Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts where a lot of founders, co-founders, even these are other founder, have said that MBA is absolutely waste of time? Have you heard those? Okay. I need more hands raising, please. Okay. All right. Let me break that little myth right now. Not everyone is going to quit their career or quit their schooling and build Zerodha. Okay, that's one of the odds out of lakhs. You right now need a lot of base discipline, a lot of AI in terms of using in your daily life, but more than that, you would need analytical thinking. More than that, you need clarity, and that clarity you can get in your jobs and degrees. So do not ever, single day, doubt what you're doing right now. You're doing the best thing that you can. Even when I was there 9 years back, I heard the same thing. I went on because I knew to build that thing right now, to be right now sitting in McKinsey or to be applying at Google, I need that MBA tag. Doesn't matter that you're doing it from tier 1 IIMs or you're doing it from the college. Just respect maximum that you're doing right now in terms of your degree of your college, because this something is going to be really useful for next 5 years. Take it with maximum pride and prestige. All right, now that we were talking about companies, roles, what would you need to become the most successful of yourself? And trust me, success is really subjective. For someone, it can be a big title or a big corporate building, or just to get into either Google or MBBs, or for someone, it can be working in a startup and getting a package of 15 lakhs at the start, right? It is very different for everyone. So choose your different. You can choose the traditional ones, which can be TCS, Infosys, EY, the big fours, Deloitte. But let me tell you one thing, that can be really stable, but if you ever get into those companies, wow, kudos to you. But you need to switch for in next 2 to 3 years. Because the more you're gonna stay at those organizations, they'll make you comfortable. And I'm telling you this from my real experience. I'll tell you a little story. When I joined Bain, it was the star in my resume. You know, the more you enter into job market, you will get to know the starlight of getting into Bain. I left that in 7 months to join a startup. A startup that had no presence in India. I built that from scratch. I got registered that startup, but it got me more than 100% of hike. And I think the kind of experience that I gained from there, It changed my career. In next 2 years, from just being a sourcer or a recruiter or an HR operation analyst, I moved the ladders by 3x speed. And right now, I'm leading the India head of a complete global organization. So basically, I'm leading more than 1,000 people, but I'm right now interacting with CEOs, CFOs. I'm traveling to countries, and that a startup gave me. I am not suggesting you choose startup. I'm not suggesting you to choose MBBs, but choose what you feel will give you that thrill. And right now, if you want me to go back to a startup, giving me even 50% of hike, I'm not hiring, I'm not saying 100, I'll join. Because that gives me thrill. Building something from scratch, making people know, making those decisions in the market, that just gives me a lot of thrill. So choose your thrill. If your thrill is in getting a Big Four tab in your resume, please go ahead with that. But just make sure that do not get too comfortable and be very sure in the first 2 years, what are you choosing? You're choosing consulting? Okay, stick to it. You are choosing product analyst? Stick to it. Because when pressure starts, you start earning. You cannot live even a single month without a salary. And the more you get into the work, the more responsibility and expectations are, then you can't switch your career. I've seen a lot of people stuck in their career for good 7 to 8 years, and when we talk about switching, they just keep procrastinating year to year, because then the salary is hitting to the bank account. You can't leave that salary. With those jobs, you really can't switch to a career and study because they have a lot of expectations. So those first 2 years are the most crucial ones. Okay, so anyone here who has a bit of clarity what title they would need? Oh, or maybe just the industry. I want to be into HR, I want to be into marketing, I want to do more of operations, I want to be more of an AI prompting engineer. Anyone who has ever thought what their resume headline should look like? Okay, is that a very technical question? Okay, I'll simplify it. Oh yeah, sure, that's not a problem. Another thing, what your LinkedIn headline should look like right now. Okay, what it looks right now. What does it say? Any LinkedIn headline, and please don't tell me that you do not have a LinkedIn presence. Okay, so you do have, just say what your headline looks right now. Lovely. What it looks right now, aspiring student at NDIIT. Okay, change that today. Your headline should say what you wanna be. A recruiter, very simple language, no? What recruiter does, they would just put 3 to 4 keywords in their searches, and that's how you're gonna be visible. Right now you're in college, and that I understand you're more into studies and less into LinkedIn, but this is the time that you need to start creating a brand on LinkedIn. Okay, and if you really search into LinkedIn in terms of LinkedIn storytellers or writers, people do have a presence of more than 10, 20, 30,000 of followers, and that's not just followers, that's their network. Whenever in the future they are open into the job market, they are looking for startups, they are looking for entrepreneurship, you have an idea, you look for funding. Okay, that sounds too fancy, you want a job. That isn't fancy, right? That's your dream for next 1 to 2 years. And as sir said, they are the MBA graduates. So I'm telling you one thing. For roles like AI, ML, prompting engineers, product managers, data analysts, business analysts, you do not require a coding background. Even I can be that today. I'm a BBA graduate, I'm an MBA graduate. I do not know C of coding. Certainly, I've now learned a lot of tech knowledges because of being a recruiter into tech, but you do not need coding or tech for that. So explore your options the better that you can. Startups and entrepreneurship can give you a lot of variable thing with a lot of equity. Zepto, Cred, Razorpay, a few things I've mentioned here. I have read about one today that you can please research. Milky Mist is the name of the brand. They got huge funding just this weekend that had passed, and that one startup which is killing it. So even if you are in marketing, please build a project on that one startup and put it over LinkedIn. That can be a homework that you can do over the weekend. If you are in operations, learn how are they doing their supply chain. And even if you are into HRs or you are aspiring to become a people leader, learn how are they putting everyone from blue collar to white collar into one space and building a startup that is really here to scale, and it is literally giving hard time to companies like Amul and Mother Dairy. Can you think about that? The most of the orders on Blinkit that are being placed right now, and this is really interesting, is more towards Milky Mist cheese and curd rather than Amul. So that's a brand that is nailing it. And these are the things you really need to know right now in the market. Okay, now that we have talked about startups, there are a few students who can be more interested in GMAT, GATE, or GRE, higher studies and research. But even before you think about that, just think from a perspective why I do want to do it. I've seen a lot of students from my college doing PhD after completing their MBAs. And someone like me who started their job as soon as doing MBA, they had a very clear thought. I need to go into research, global research, so I'm going to go to Europe. I'm now going to join a a PGDM degree or a PhD degree, but into the global fraternity. Why they are doing this? Because they do have very specific clarity. I don't want to get into corporate. So if that's your thought, or if you have any specific specialist role that you want to be, probably you want to go to Gales, you want to go to Wharton, and you need to be really specific about being a product manager, or I really need to go into the global analyst role, then you can think of those options. But I'm now going to talk about something really interesting. Have you ever done a side hustle by now? Have you ever earned something apart from studying or selling a simple thing online, or anyone who's trying to do content creation, anything? Even earn 50 rupees apart from what your pocket money is? You did? What you did? Lovely. I see one more head nodding. No? Wow. Okay, can we see the percentages? So if you have ever done, please raise your hand, or if you haven't, then I'm going to count you into the percentage. Can you see the percentage? Only 2% right now in this class have done that. That's it. And you guys are not leveraging. Gen Z's, 45% of you are right now doing side hustles. What world are we living in? We really need to make sure we utilize this freelancing and gig economy. Search upgrad, be on LinkedIn, anything that you do. Okay, you can teach students, talk about it on LinkedIn. You can do dance, lovely, talk about it on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, whatever platform makes more sense to you. Anything basic that you can do, any design that you can do doodles. A lot of brands are sitting right here to hire freshers or graduates that are very inexpensive rather than the professional designers. There are opportunities, you just have to pick your hesitation out of body, throw into that dustbin, and please close it forever. And that hesitation right now might be stopping a lot of you from putting hands up if you have ever done something. So that if you do in a corporate, trust me, you're going to be average forever, and there might be even a day where someone is replacing you, someone who is speaking more into the meetings. So that's a lot of reality check, I know. Now I'll be coming back to the last thing, government and civil services. And this picture have changed so much in last 5 years. If you open one website today, mygovernment.in, that website will have plethora of opportunities. So if you really need something stable, less dynamic, more safe, that's something for you. And that's absolutely, there is no judgments for doing that. For a lot of us, success really defines into being stable and getting a salary every month without fearing of a pink slip every day. Okay, so that really can be an option. I'll tell you what kind of opportunities you can get here. Gone are those days when you really have opportunities just into railways or just into very simple banking and SSC or UPSC, which might feel like chasing a rocket to a lot of us. Trust me, it feels like me as well. I never dreamt of doing UPSC, but right now I'm doing great in my career as compared to 70% students in my class, because I knew what I need to do. I just chose something that I enjoy doing, and I had to put a lot of hard work and consistency. So if you're really choosing government, then you would have opportunities from NDIIT College. You would have a lot of open opportunities right now for internships also into external ministry and organizations like DRDO. That's right now, today, open. So please bookmark all those websites known as mygovernment.in or government internships or Sarkari Naukri. That's also a website. You need to bookmark those and just keep visiting then and there. Maybe just prepare a schedule of visiting them every Sunday. And whenever there's a new opportunity, please apply. Most of the time, the preparations for all these exams and opportunities will be very similar. So you just have to make sure that your eyes and ears are really open in the market and you're good to go. All right. Let's talk about a little bit more into how market works today. What roles are getting redundant? This is going to be very helpful when you choose what you really need to do. Data entry and manual reporting, gone are those days. Even QAs are getting replacing, so let's not even talk about data entry. Customer support from the lowest level, absolutely gone. They really need someone who is dynamic, can switch from English to Hindi in milliseconds when a customer is talking the same language. Amazon BPO has a very specific requirement. When a customer is speaking into English, speak into English. The moment a customer switch into Hindi, your next word has to be in Hindi. So they need just sharp brains. They do not need fluent into English or you need to speak business language. No, you just need to be very dynamic. And adaptability is one thing. If you have, then corporate values it more than you think. All right, copy paste analyst jobs. Analysts are in the fire right now. They're everywhere. If you see data analyst job open, there are going to be more than 1,000 opportunities, one single organization like Barclays. But they don't need basic analysts. That Claude can also do. If I give a data of more than 1,000 rows, Claude can do it in like 2 minutes. What you can do. So you really need to pick insights from that. Hey, this is the data. For example, if we talk about analyst data or attrition data, this is the reason that attrition is happening. Last quarter, this many attrition happened, and this is something that we can do. Nobody, not even a single AI tool, knows your business better than you. So whenever you enter into the corporate, the first 1 week is knowing the business the most. You should know what your product is, how your company makes money, or what services they are giving, and that's how you can beat an AI and be literally irreplaceable. All right, routine content writing. There's nowhere that it is there. A lot of AI are taking place into the same. Basic financial modeling, please don't tell me that you're ever planning to do that. But what's in the market right now? I'll pick the second last one, the first. ESG roles are paying freshers more than 20 lakh. That's the fresher salary I'm talking about. And I can also name the company, but just don't judge me if they ever pay you 15 or 16. EY has recently hired freshers from tier 2 MBA colleges in Delhi NCR and gave them a package of 15 to 20 lakh ranging. And that's ESG and sustainability consultants I'm talking about. And I know those people personally who got hired. So that's right now should be the most booming career for next 5 to 7 years. A lot of companies like Deloitte and EY and KPMG, they do have a lot of responsibilities into coming to ESG sectors. And if they don't do it, they're going to be literally sued for crores. So hence they pay you lakh to save their crores. So utilize that. GCC roles. Okay, what is a GCC? Anyone can tell me here? It's okay, I'll just give you a few seconds and then I'll explain. Okay, so an MNC is, which is building their offices in India, but then their headquarters and the core operations remains anywhere in the global. GCCs are breaking that down. They are breaking that one central head office and then putting all those offices in India. They are giving a lot of decentralizations to different offices. I'll pick one example of Bain. Bain GCC has everything related to HR, finance, consulting. Their heads, they sit out of India office. And that's how Europe has their own teams. America has their own teams. Basically, we call them NAMER, which is North America. We call them APAC, which is Asia and Pacific, where India happens. And EMEA is Middle East, okay? So these are the few jargons that you should be knowing if you enter into a corporate world. GCCs are those which decentralizes their regions into different countries and do not hold the centralization of operations. That is GCC, and that's literally booming right now in India. So you need to target more GCC, do a simple Google search, which GCC have opened in India in 2026, and target those companies. Now I'll come to cybersecurity. Cybersecurity doesn't have to be very tech. It just has to have very strong analytical and dynamic thinking. You need to have better risk predictability. That's what you need for cybersecurity. So no tech degrees. Product managers, certainly they have never been into tech, but they know their product as if their life depends on it. It's just about more researching, having focus, learning about the product, and you can do this with a starting package of nowhere around 10 to 15, no less than 10 to 15. Product managers are really booming right now in organizations like Ola and Uber. And of course, others as well, but Ola and Uber are the highest payers for their product managers. Data analyst, all right. So you by seeing this, I think you would be thinking it's just for tech. But even if you know Power BI a bit better or Excel to the core, you can be a data analyst. So you doesn't have to be Python or SQL expert. You just need to know Power BI. You need to have a core into analyzing data and just getting results, what this data is. Right now, me being an HR specialist, I deal with a lot of data. My company has more than 9,000 people, so imagine the data that I'm dealing with. And I do this job, and I have no coding background. So even if you do not have a coding background, you do not need to know Python or SQL for that. You just need to know how to use Power BI, how to do Excel, how to create rows out of those data, what should be in column, what should be in rows, and what can be a learning from this data, what initiatives I'm really planning, and that's it. A lot of career options, you just need to pick what works for you. Now I'll come to the first thing, AI prompt engineers and AI trainers. AI also needs to be trained on things like language, questions, ethics, and we have seen a lot of stories where AI is giving options to save your life. Like it has literally saved life from for a woman who was expecting 9 months, and she talked to ChatGPT about something, and ChatGPT said her to rush to the hospital. Who all does that? AI trainers do that. ChatGPT doesn't know how to save a life of a woman who is 9 months expecting. But AI trainers have trained the tool in such a way, Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, that it gives you a response within seconds and it analyzes the risk. ChatGPT just analyzed the risk into this perfect time, and that's how it saved a life. And that was a global news. So AI trainers needed, without any coding background, to train AI on ethics and languages and how to be prompt with responses. These are really open in organizations like Google, which is Gemini, NVIDIA, which is booming into AI right now, Microsoft for Microsoft Copilot, and certainly OpenAI. OpenAI right now also is hiring in India. So imagine when OpenAI has just started an year back into India operations. Right now they have more than 55 roles. When you're going to be really graduate and looking into the market, OpenAI will be even more booming. So have an eye on these organizations. Okay, very basic question, and I think most of you would know the answer. What is the parent company of Claude? Please, one answer. Okay, what is the parent company of ChatGPT? Yeah, okay. These are the things that you should be really aware of in the market, okay? You all would be using Claude, you would be using ChatGPT for sure. Right now, everyone are doing the mundane jobs from the ChatGPT, but then what is the parent company? Okay, I'll give you 3 resources that you need to download in your phone today, and you should have an answer whenever your professors or anyone in the college are asking those questions, okay? One is People Matters. That has to be there. That's not an app, that needs to be a website. And you really need to open it every single day or just subscribe. The newsletter would come to your email. Another would be Mint. And last would be ET. And into ET, which is Economic Times, you need to go into the career section and then read. Spend 30 minutes each day, and you would know what's happening in the market. Okay, which companies are doing what, why AI is into the rival between Claude and OpenAI. These all things would really help you when companies would come here and interviewers are gonna ask what's happening in the market. So just do not prepare for questions like my introduction or what I'm gonna be in next 5 years. Be very aware of what's happening into the corporate industry, which is your dream for next 5 years. Perfect. So after giving you a lot of insights into what's in the market, what companies are hiring, I'm now gonna give you 4 options that will help you build an unbeatable portfolio. That even someone, if you're competing with someone who is from a tier 1 MBA college, you're gonna stand there very strong with a portfolio that no one is in building right now. Okay? So the first thing that you're gonna do is AI literacy. Make sure that for next 1 week, you have one certification, which is absolutely free. I'm gonna give you free options as well. And it's added in your resume and LinkedIn. I'll talk about 3. One is Google Analytics, another is Meta Analytics, and the last one is Microsoft AI. These three, any one of these three certifications, don't do all three because they cover most of the basics. Any of these three has to be in your resume because that's the most basic AI knowledge that it will give you. What's agentic AI, what's LLM, all those differences are really going to be clear, and you would know how to prompt AI better to get your work done. That's one. And make sure that you really use AI tools smartly. You do not have to pay for a single one. I'm literally doing it for last 2 years. I've never paid for any of the LLM tools, and I'm right now doing it for my job, for my content creation. Use ChatGPT for brainstorming. Use Perplexity for researching. If you're ever researching about a brand, just like I talked about Milky Mist, if you want to research about it, use Perplexity and use Claude to get things done. You want to have a report, Claude will give you better than ChatGPT. You want to have a deck, Claude will give you more instantly than ChatGPT. So this way you really would use tokens very smartly because Claude runs in tokens if you ever use Claude, and you would not run over. Another thing is data fluency. You must be very good into Excel. No role ever in the corporate have ever succeeded without Excel. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years back, Excel has always been there and it is going to be there. Whatever AI revolution we talk about, Excel is not going anywhere. So please start building your Excel knowledge really strong. Go into YouTube and search from Learn Excels and Excel tutorial. A lot of YouTube channels are there. You can utilize that. SQL, if you ever have interest into tech. If you don't, please learn about Power BI at least. And that's how most of the analyst roles would be open. Communication, all right. That's one thing that I really want to talk about. I'm not talking about being fluent in English. I just want you to be really confident. Think of no judgment zone. Just speak up for yourself. Speak up in meetings like these that we are having right now. Maximum of those, utilize it. Your college is doing an amazing job in giving you such opportunities. Your corporate won't train you. They would expect things from you, but your college is training you. So utilize those opportunities, speak up more. As I said, pick up your hesitation, put it in a dustbin, and make sure that you are really ready for the corporate that is going to be expecting a lot of networking and communications from you, whatever role are you talking about. Project manager, product manager, AI, HR, marketing, operations, BI, anything that you talk about, communication is the core. So if you don't speak up in meetings, someone is going to replace you, someone who speaks up more but have less knowledge than you. So what would you do with that knowledge? Okay? So communication is something that you really have to build. But then how? Okay. A lot of knowledge we give to students, but most of the time we skip the core on how do you do it. I'm asking you to be really confident, but then how would you do it? You need to give yourself enough evidences. You need to speak up, record yourself, record your interviews every day for 10 minutes and then hear it. And that's how the first time you'll be nervous in front of speaking of you, in front of you. But you just need to be very sure. The more you do it, the more evidences your brain will get. The first time ever I gave a lecture like this 2 years back, my legs were shivering, like literally. And I had red face into the whole session. And that was my first time. Because whatever I do, whatever YouTube video I listen on confidence, motivational speaking, my brain knew this is the first time I'm doing. And it had to go like this. But now, when I've done it for multiple times, I do not have to doubt my confidence for a single time because confidence doesn't come from motivation. Confidence and communication comes from evidences. You have to give your mind enough opportunities even to speak to yourself. You do not need an audience like this to speak. You just need you and your camera and one tool that we are going to talk about, and that's it. Your brain will have enough evidences. We have done this earlier as well. You can do it today. And that's how your nervousness will go and your hesitation will literally disappear. You really need to do this and start this weekend only. Do not wait for an opportunity or an interview to come. The last thing that you really need to do is deep skill certification. You need to make sure that your resume has maximum projects. I will just give 2 examples so that you understand what I'm talking about. If you're into marketing and you want to be a performance marketer or marketing analyst, you need to pick one startup today and understand how they got funding, how many fundings they have. Maybe you can use Zepto, Blinkit, or Milky Mist. You just need to understand what that trajectory has been. How they started, what was the idea, where are they now? Okay? Another thing that you can build a project in, if you are into people roles or analytics roles, you can pick organizations like Chayos and understand how they started. They started from one outlet in Bangalore where people were making chai, and right now in so many thousands of Chayos outlet, chai bots are making it. So they're literally using AI to making chai. And every time I order from Chayos, and trust me, it's my favorite, every time I do, my chai just tastes same. And that's why a human is not making it. AI is doing it. All right, so your projects and your portfolios should have idea like this. And I'm not talking you to have a fancy portfolio into a fancy website. Your LinkedIn is your portfolio. Make ideas into your head and put it on your LinkedIn and you're absolutely done. All right, a bit of reality check. Your skills, your career jump, and your target has to be your three things that are running in your mind every time for next 2 years. Whether you're graduating this year or you're graduating in a few more years, next 2 years are gonna be something where you're working on a live dashboard, be it LinkedIn or be it any of the website you talk about, or you are doing a jump for 3 to 4 or 8 to 12, you really need to be very specific into building a portfolio. Okay, read more newsletters. I'll just take two names and that you can use. One is Mark Hump and another is Rubain Hasid. These people talk about how to build your projects, how to build your portfolios, and they will give you most authentic AI knowledge that you really need to build. And your portfolio can be really simple. Just put maximum of projects and internships into your resume. And your internship doesn't have to be really subjective with those internships that comes one a year. You can do a lot of internships virtually as well. Explore platforms like Upwork, explore platforms like Farage. They give you so many opportunities. Whatever your skill is to build projects would require only 4 to 6 hours. That's all that you need to spend, and your resume should have maximum projects so that it doesn't get rejected, because a recruiter spends only 6 seconds to your resume. Imagine 6 seconds. I just scan left, I do right in a F format, and that's it. First is heading, another is experience, and another is your resume summary with your companies or your internships or your projects. That's it that I do in 6 seconds, because trust me, I review more than 150 resume every single day. And apart from that, I do have plethora, a million of things to do. Not just resume reviewing is only one job. So 200 resume per day to a full-time recruiter also is way too much, and they do not give more than 6 seconds to make your resume worth scanning. Perfect. And if you really need to target high-paying roles, then we have already talked about tech and data and ESG. That has to be something that you're exploring now, because you have this opportunity to know early in your career. If you would have known this, the same information that we are talking today, 4 years from now, you would have lost those opportunities that we talked about. And then switching after your first job into the whole career and industry is almost impossible. Can we have the next one, please? Okay, now I'm gonna give you a very realistic plan for next 90 days. First 30, what you need to do, you need to build your own brand in your own head, and then build your foundation. First thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna pick your LinkedIn and tailor it to what you wanna be, what roles are you targeting, so that you know what roles are you choosing when it comes to the campus placement. So make sure your LinkedIn headline should look like aspiring HR specialist, aspiring product manager, and you really would be very clear into coming into the recruitment searches. Then build two resume versions. Okay, why two? Right now, if you go into the market and apply from one resume to every single job, you will have more than 90% of rejection. Why? Because do you know ATS? Okay, please tell me the full form. Anyone? Application tracking system. Okay, I'm not putting you in a difficult spot. I just want to make sure that you know the core of hiring. You're gonna be available into the job market in next 1 year, so you should know who is really accepting and rejecting your resume. A human recruiter like me would never screen your resume into the first step. It is going to be done by an ATS, which is application tracking system. I would take a few common names: Workday, Greenhouse, Workable. These are a few common names running into the market along with smart recruiters, and they screen your resume at the first place. So if you are getting a rejected email after 10-15 minutes of your application into any of the company, it's not me, it's not a recruiter, it's an ATS. And how does ATS do? Your resume has to be very keyword driven, simple format, but maximum of projects and very easy to match to a job description. That's how ATS works. What is an ATS? It is a simple tool where I feed in a job description. I tell what do I need in a candidate, and whenever someone comes into my career portal, ATS is the barrier here. It screens your resume according to the job description I have given. It passes or it rejects. That's it. That can be the simplest ever I can explain an ATS to anyone. Okay, so that should give you a lot of clarity right now. Then you really need to build two resumes, the tailored one according to the job targets you're doing. For example, if I want to go into the HR, I'm going to do either recruitment or HR operations or specialist. If I gonna do to product, then I'm gonna do either project management or product management. I just need to keep my options very open, and that's how I will be able to use the maximum job opportunities. Then another gonna be your certifications that we just talked about. Please pick one of those and make sure that you complete within next 1 week. This is the maximum time you're gonna find in your life. Trust me. And if you feel you do have a lot of presentations, my classes are so long, this is the maximum free you are ever for rest of your life. Even if your corporate job is super easy, you would want to do million of things to earn more, because when you start earning, your hunger can be limitless, and that it should be. So utilize this time right now to make sure you're building a project and a portfolio for a very high paying employee that are sitting right now here. The next 30 days, which is 31 to 60, are all going to be about outreaching people, making your networking very strong. And that's the easiest thing that you can do to reach out to people on LinkedIn. You're not seeing their face. They're not judging you for anything. You're not speaking in front of someone and just fearing to speak right now. You really have to target 10 people on LinkedIn, and please do not tell them to review your profile or to tell you a job opportunity. Learn from them at the first. Okay, because if you do not have to give something to someone, you can never take. So first, give them an appreciation of anything, any post that you liked. Hey, I really like about this post of yours. I would like to learn more what you are doing into Deloitte, or what is your role about in EY. I'm an aspirant and I want to learn more about it. That's it. So please do not ever start your DM like, I'm looking for an opportunity, can you refer me? That's not something that you can do. You will never get a LinkedIn response for anyone. Like, trust me, from anyone. Then you really need to make sure that you're doing 5 to 8 tailored applications every week. And that's the minimum that I can talk about. And remember, tailored. If you're having a difficulty into tailoring your resume about every job, just tailor your headline for adding 3 to 4 keywords. That's it. And your summary. Headline and summary are the only things that ATS also scans the most, and recruiter also scans the most. So your job is becoming easy now. You really have to have one proof of work, which is one project, one internship where you have built something and just posted about it on LinkedIn, and keep it into the featured section. Pick any of your posts, click on 3 dots, say add to the featured section, and that's how that will be the first thing that a recruiter or anyone visiting your LinkedIn profile will be seeing. So your featured section has to have something. Any of your LinkedIn post which performed well or which is really resonating with you, you built something, you researched about something, make it as featured. And then we're certainly going to talk about networking even in webinars. Where are the sources? The sources are going to be a lot of People Matters event that keep happening in Delhi NCR for absolutely free. And ET also runs a lot of events where they invite students. You have a student email ID? Perfect. That's something which is going to give you free passes to such events. And the first time that you go into such events, I'm pretty sure you're going to be so nervous. Your legs will shiver. But the more you go, the more comfortable will be. What will happen? You'll keep standing on one table alone for next 10 minutes. But at least after those 10 minutes, someone is going to reach out to you and you will be forced to talk. So give your brain that training to be better and give it enough evidences that you are better. So please get out of your comfort zone and attend such events that keep happening in Delhi NCR for absolutely free of cost. You do not require passes for that. The next 90 days will be all about conversion. Now here we are prepping you for jobs. It should not look like daunting because your whole life depends on it. It should look like a passion project that you're doing for yourself. in next 90 days. So you have to run 3 mock interviews every single week and you have to record yourself. This will improve your communication, this will make you corporate ready, and this will make your next upcoming placements less daunting. Then you have to have a 10-second pitch. I'll say my 10-second pitch. I'm an HR specialist and a career mentor. I help business leaders to solve their complex people problems, and I help career students to build their career. That's it. That's it. What I'm trying to say here, I change from confidence to clarity to make sure I bridge between confidence, clarity, and that's it. I can say it in 10 seconds. I just stated you my job title and something which is my passion. And that's what you need to do in 10 seconds. I am an aspiring product manager, I'm an aspiring operations manager, and this problem I need to solve. That's it. And if you're having a lot of problem in training your brain about it, please give it to ChatGPT. It will give you 10 options on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to say, and what purpose it solves. You want to be an ESG consultant, it will give you a 10-sentence purpose that a ESG consultant is solving into the market right now. So you do not have to make it difficult for you. You have to simplify so that you can do maximum things on your own. And that's what we use AI for, to just make our life simpler. You need to have follow-up on every job application that you do, and you have to make sure that every rejection here, it's not a failure. It's something that is teaching you. Either you have never researched about that organization, or you're really not made for a HR specialist role, or a product management role, or a data analyst role. You really need to ensure that whatever failure you're having, or you have been ever rejected into an interview, you are just learning 2 things from that. Just write 2 things what I learned from this interview. I've done it, and that's how I have cleared so many organizations like Adobe and Oracle as well. Certainly, there are times when I accepted those offers and I didn't, but that's my own personal choice. But I made sure that every interview I got rejected from, I just write 2 things that I could do better. And in next interview, I do those things better. This is something that you can do in your placements. It will pay you off more than anything that you can imagine for, because you're right now learning from your own mistakes. All right, as we mentioned, make sure that your headline is absolutely updated. Make sure that your summary is not crossing more than 3 lines. Right now, you're a student, you have done internship, certainly, but you do not have a career of 10, 12 years, which really need to go into 3 different paragraphs. No one will read that. 3 lines of a summary, and you end it. That's it. You make sure that your your resume is ATS master. How you can do that? We're gonna certainly let you know a few of the tools, but let me give you three targets basically that you can chase for your resume. One has to be the structure. The structure needs to be simple, no visual, no graphic, 1 pager. The another thing is maximum keywords. And the last one is tailored to a job description. That's what ATS needs. That's it. All right, can we move to the next one? Okay, perfect. This one left blank purposely because we really want you to imagine yourself here networking at events, networking on LinkedIn, and making sure that you apply so much into the jobs that networking looks easier than job applying. And most of the job opportunities in organizations are filled by referrals. And I think you would know that. The maximum referral that you can get into the market, the easier job hunting process will be for you. So make sure networking is just not a fancy word in your dictionary. You are applying it to the core. Make sure you build it into the public ad we talked about. 1 LinkedIn post every single week. And if you can do 2, better. You'll start enjoying it, and trust me, I'm saying it with a lot of proof. You can do 1 per day as well when you start enjoying it. So start writing on LinkedIn. Write crazy post right now with absolutely simple language, but at least write something so that your brain knows I have done this before, now I can do it, I can write better. Next one, please. To conclude, you really need to have mock interviews. You need to have your 10-second pitch, and that really needs to be perfect in terms of explaining your vision and what you are right now. And you have to be consistent. If you do not do it, I'm telling you, in the next few months, you will be in a very confused state of where my career path is going and what do I do. Pick your path this week. Make sure that you think of the roles that are open for you. Talk to maximum LLMs, your professors. Those two sources are very, very reliable. And make sure that you prepare your 90 days tracker. The first one, you have to build your base. The next one, you need to start your outreach. And the third one, you prepare for your future job. Lovely. All right. So now I'm going to talk about a few challenges to before we really end up and make sure that we talk about a few more numbers. I would just like you how we can do this. Students right now struggle the most to create the resumes, and we can see that you most of the time go to Canva and pick up the most fancy resumes and then see make it look like I've done a lot of hard work. That's not hard work. That's basically the most easy and not so ATS friendly way that you have chosen. So make it simple. Pick the most easy and simple looking format, one column format from any of the ATS tools, and that's something that you can do. Make sure that you optimize it by the ATS. How? Adding maximum of the keywords, picking up from the job description. Go to LinkedIn, search, go to the search bar and target your roles. For example, business analyst. Once you do, pick any of the job description, add it in your resume. And that's how you can skip most of the traditional job portals. And I'll tell you how you can do that. The next one is making sure that you have very structured assessment in terms of job fitment. I know it looks very technical right now. I'll simplify it for you. Can we move to the next, please? Lovely. How CVLA and JobVob can help you here. I myself have used it, so I can give you a very simple reality check. AI resumes are the most easy to build. You would just have to fill a very simple form which says what your education year is, what your experience is, what your headline should look like, and the AI version will do the job by itself. So you really have to just put in your information just how you would put in into any of the forms that you fill into coming to colleges or corporates. That's what you need to do. And you will have a lot of formats to choose from, so always choose the one column simple ATS friendly resumes. That's how your resume will have least rejections. You would have a lot of smart content recommendations, but let me tell you my favorite thing. So whenever you go to CVLA, you can fill in whatever is in front of you into the forms, but you can pick and choose your own category. For example, I do not see a category of recommendations, just an instance. So I can go into the section, click your own and build your own section. Then I can choose that and I can say recommendations, or I can say achievements, or I can say proof of work. I can put it into my resume, and that's it. So any customization I can do, this tool really makes it super, super easy. And if I talk about professional templates, you can try it by yourself. You will have limitless options. So many options that you would have in front of you that all are ATS friendly. Everything in terms of the templates would be really easy for you to choose. Then if we talk about the next thing, which is JobVob, you would have a lot of recruiter visibility. You would have so much in terms of talent matching. For example, if you put your resume and a recruiter is viewing that, that tool automatically matches your resume to the opportunities that are made for you in terms of your resume. You would have an access to employee career portal. Then you would have a lot of access to candidate screening tools as well with the hiring pipeline management. Basically, it is cutting you from the crowd. Naukri, LinkedIn, IM jobs, Indeed, they are overcrowded. They do have opportunities, but most of the time it's not even updated. The opportunities would be open from last 6 months. This is making your life easy. Okay, so a little ecosystem, student onboarding with a profile and goal setup. Then you come to CVLA AI resume builder. You make sure that you build a resume that you're gonna use forever. Then you make sure that you check your career readiness score, and this you will not get anywhere. Then you come to JobVob Marketplace and search for the opportunities, and that's how on the same platform you can prepare for the interview as well. And that's going to take up your confidence from here to here, because you'll keep doing it, you'll keep recording yourself for 10 minutes, you'll keep hearing feedback from the tool on real-time problems, and that's how you will be absolutely job ready for next few months. Can we switch? Okay, a little bit of snapshot. That's how tool looks. The CVLA, that's how you can choose the templates from, and that's how you can compare the templates, the first one that you see. You can really compare which one you want to go with. Oh, do we have any question? Okay, I heard a voice. And this is how it will give you fully customizable AI-powered, multiple formats, but making sure that it matches your job description in the most optimized manner. That's what you need to get your resume being cleared, right? And these are the few snapshots from JobVob, which makes your life very, very easy from other than the overcrowded platforms like LinkedIn and Naukri. This saves a lot of time that you can utilize in building a better portfolio. Are we done? All right, so to move that, I'm going to give a very quick reminder. Next 5 years, the more you nudge yourself to grow more, the more you get out of your comfort zone, the more you speak to people, the more you network, the more you learn from leaders that are existing into the corporates. No one is going to block you or report you on LinkedIn if you reach out to someone and ask, how did you enter into this job? And would you like to share just 3 things that I should be right now doing to get something like this? No one is going to block you. You just have to step out into the market and talk to people, because that no MBA, no graduation can teach you ever that someone from real work experience can make you learn. So you have to get out of your comfort zone, and next 5 years decides how much are you going to be paid in next 50. Thanks. Hope that helps.
Whatever is there in the mind, you can ask the experts. That's a better opportunity.
We are going to be ticking to 10, and I think that ticking has happened. Okay, any questions that's coming, you can certainly drop an email to me. We will share those credentials, or search me on internet. You can certainly do that with Priya Singh, or drop your questions to Vanchika. She will forward it to me. Thanks.
I'll start by thanking Priya for such an insightful session. I'm sure everyone in this room took something away, has some valuable takeaway that will help you make smarter decisions. So I'll give you my 2 cents. Students, we discussed today something very important, right? Not just jobs, not just placements, careers. The choices you will make in the next 5 years will give you the real, deal. So some of you may take corporate route, some of you will go into analyst role, some of you may become entrepreneurs also, some may explore consulting, AI jobs, training jobs, etc., etc. There's no single one takeaway, there's no single correct pathway. You'll have to, see what works best for you. And the right pathway is the one that aligns with your strengths, your ambitions, where you want to see yourself in the next 5 years, and your willingness to learn and try things continuously. As you leave this hall today, remember one thing. Opportunities just don't go to the most qualified candidate, they go to the most prepared candidates. So that is one takeaway I want you to, have this from this seminar. Thank you. Thank you for being a lovely audience. Thank you, Priya, to be such a wonderful speaker. So now you may be seated. We have some stuff for you. If somebody wants to have a demo, we have the websites here, and you can try your hand at making a CV, seeing how JobVob is, what recruiters are here, and we have some small gifts for you. So please be seated.
मेरा सभी साथियों से रिक्वेस्ट है कि एनडीआईटी के लिए मिस्टर अनुज मिश्रा विल बी टेकिंग केयर ऑफ दैट. अभी आप यहाँ की जो भी टेक्निकल टीम है वो हम सभी बच्चों के सीवीज़ को हम इस पे सीवी लेके ऊपर पोस्ट करेंगे, एंड देन यू कैन लर्न हाउ इट वर्क्स. ठीक है ना? इन केस ऑफ एनी डाउट देन यू कैन कॉन्टैक्ट अनुज ऑल्सो. ही विल बी टेकिंग केयर आउट आफ्टर दिस मीटिंग. ओके, सो आपकी तरफ से कौन है? आपकी तरफ से कौन बैठेगा? ठीक है, आस्क देम टू कम. आई, और कौन है साथ में? वन बाय वन यू कैन कम, मतलब आप 2-3 लोगों को बिठा दीजिए. वन बाय कम सर. आइए प्लीज, एक एक करके स्टूडेंट्स, एक चेयर स्टूडेंट्स को भी दे देते हैं. आप आ जाओ बेटा, सबसे पहले आप ही आ जाओ. स्टूडेंट को आपने इधर बिठाना है कि सामने बिठाना है? राइट, एक राइट पे चेयर दे, एक राइट पे चेयर दे दो बेटा.